Hello YouTube, this is Billy. I'm back to trying to get this thing to pull out some, and I apologize for not starting to record a little sooner, but all I've done was the two bolts that were holding this piece, there was a nut and a bolt that was holding this to the bottom of the radiator support, and I took the nut off and pulled the bolt, and you know, it was because this stud is part of the radiator support. I had to, this big bolt down here, I actually just pulled it all out. Now before I pulled it all the way out, I used a floor jack, jacked up that section of the frame, put a jack stand underneath it, put 98% of the weight on the jack stand and just a little bit on the floor jack as backup. Pulled that bolt all the way out. This bracket right here, all I did was take it all the way off, and I flipped it upside down on the ground, and I just jumped on it to try to help flatten it out. It was very aggressively bent. I'm gonna call that good enough for what I'm trying to do. So I just got the bolt going back in. Now this thing is going to be maybe loose like this, so I can just flip it around out of the way as I need. I got the bolt going back in. I might get the bolt almost all the way tightened down and just leave this kind of off to the side like that. So now it looks like it's this bottom right here where it really got the impact right there, and you see how it's pushing everything up. It's got this right here going up, and right here going up, and even back here this is going up. All of that's supposed to be nice and flat. That impact being like this just kind of pushed everything up like that. So my concept, I think that if I can get a good grip down here and really heat all of this up as good, you know, heat it up as good as I can, and give some jerks on it, and which obviously I would have to have this bolt back in and get it off the jack stand to be jerking on it. But between jerking on it plus just steady pressure with it in park, you know, with the truck in park, and just a good pressure on the chain and heating it up, and even tapping on these wrinkles, you know, tapping in the areas it needs to move to kind of help it move. You know, it's been a slow process, but we are getting somewhere with it. So, well, that's where we're at now. Okay, so I have got my little clamp on there, and the strap on the clamp, and the strap on a chain connected to the ball on the truck. I've got some good tension on it, and I've got the little blowtorch, just really heating that up down there. It moves really slow, but just with tension on it, yeah, it's moving. It's just moving really slow. The hotter it gets, the more flexible it gets. So yeah, just getting some good heat down there in that spot where it really needs to move. Right there where the flame's at, that was where the worst part of the damage is. I'm needing this thing to pull out, and as it pulls out, I'm really hoping that it's going to kind of come down also. you can tell right here, it comes up right here, and then it comes up right here, and then back here it comes up. And right in this bottom corner, just like that, that's where it took the worst part of the impact. So I'm just really putting some heat on that down there. And see, with the truck having some serious tension on it, I'm able to just put some weight on the, so I got my foot on it. I'm just putting some weight on it to help give it a little more while it's heating up. The hotter it gets, the better. So that's where we're at. Here in a second, I will move the torch to this side and heat this up as well, really good. So, little at a time. Well guys, all I'm doing is keeping steady pressure on the chain and strap that's hooked onto the clamp. Just keeping steady pressure and heating it up. All of the areas that are deformed and like now every once in a while I am setting this torch down to where it'll just stand there and keep heat on it like that, and then I just stand on top of the chain and strap and kind of bounce. And slowly but surely it's opening. Slowly but surely. And now on these wrinkles, I am taking a hammer and kind of tapping on those wrinkles to kind of help them. For the most part, all I'm doing is just keeping steady pressure on the chain and strap, and so I can just get up here on the strap and just kind of bounce around a little bit, and every little bit I'll crank up the truck and add a little more tension to it. You know, crank up the truck and scoot forward just a hair and put it back in park and turn it off. And I think the biggest trick is just really applying that heat with good, when you got good tension on it. I don't know if you can hear it, but it's cracking and popping while I'm talking to you. You hear it? It's wanting to open, it's wanting to pull back out like it used to be before the wreck. You can hear that. And having all these areas that need to move warmed up just kind of helps it. You can hear it, but it's cracking and pumping and moving. The movement is so slow that you have to take a before and after picture to see how much it moved. And of course, this kind of thing takes a lot of patience. Yeah, this kind of thing takes a lot of patience, but if you just stay at it, a little here and a little there, it's moving. When you hear it, those little cracks and pops, it's moving. And all I'm doing is keeping that steady pressure on it and heating it up. And okay, well, I'll check back with you guys here in a little.